Image is so important in providing legendary customer service. And one of the images that Disney instills in each and every cast member from their very first day on the job, I mean, it's embedded into their DNA, is that you treat the customer like you would treat a guest in your own home, and never, ever refer to them as a customer. They are your guest. So what does this look like when these values are instilled in our workers and our employees? One of my favorite examples comes to us from a customer service manager at Disney who shared a letter with us about a guest that had just returned from their very first visit at Walt Disney World. And this young couple traveled with their 3 daughters, and these 3 daughters traveled with their teddy bears, as many youngsters do. And the first night that they came back to their hotel room, these 3 teddy bears were seated around a table with milk and cookies in front of them. The next night that they came back, these teddy bears were tucked into their beds with little Disney books in front of them. Another night they were seated on their bed with Disney cards dealt out to them like they were playing cards. I mean, these girls were more excited about coming back to the hotel room than they were about going to the park in the morning. Over 70% of Disney's guests last year were repeat visitors. Do you suppose this couple is going to be a repeat visitor? You bet they are. But the key to this example is that it's everybody's job, even the housekeeper, to provide those magical moments for your guest. Believing in your cast is so important, and Four Seasons Hotels does such a great job of this. One of my favorite examples comes to us from New York City, where a doorman noticed that a guest had left his briefcase on the curb as he got in the cab. The doorman opened up the briefcase, called the office, and the guest assistant said that the gentleman was on his way to a meeting in Boston, and he was sure that there were things in the briefcase that were important to that meeting. And the doorman, without any approval from anyone, told the assistant, well, there's no problem. There's 2 of us on duty, and I'm sure my colleague could cover my duties while I'm gone. I'll jump in a cab and meet him at the airport and give him the briefcase. Well, the doorman gets tied up in traffic, misses the plane, calls the assistant, and the assistant thanks him for trying. And the doorman, again, without any approval from anyone, says, I've just purchased a ticket on the next flight to Boston. Give me the information where his meeting's going to be, and I'll deliver the briefcase. And he does. Saves the day. Now, in most organizations, one of 2 things would happen. Can you guess number 1? Sure, he'd be fired. What do you mean you spent the day in Boston? You're out of here. Or it would become one of these legendary customer service stories that's told at all the orientation programs and all the company meetings about the day that old Charlie saved the day. But the key here is that at the Four Seasons, neither of these things happened, because it is expected behavior at the Four Seasons to do what's ever in your power to solve a guest problem. I just love what Isidore Sharp, the founder and CEO of the Four Seasons Hotels, told me about values. He said, values are only words on paper. They only have significance if behaved. But behaviors have significance only if believed. Legendary customer service does not come from a policy manual. It comes from the heart.